Today we're going to be going over how to set up your MyFitnessPal. Now I know a lot of people have already used this in the past, and that's okay. If you know how to use it, you can skip ahead of this video. But for those of you who are new to it, it's really easy to set up and it's just such a key tool to use. I recommend most people track their food. A lot of us can get away with not tracking it initially. Some of my clients only track their protein for the first 1 to 2 months and they still see a lot of progress, so that's definitely an option. But let's at least have a look at this app, show you how to set it up, show you how to edit a few things, and then just a couple key things you can do to make the whole process of using it a lot easier. So let's jump into the app. Alright, so when we come into the app, the first thing it's going to ask you to do is to sign up. So make an account, and then once you're all signed in, logged in, it'll bring you to this page here. As you can see, we've got dashboard, diary, newsfeed, plans, and more. So let's have a look at this dashboard. As you can see, I already have a calorie goal in here. That's because I've had an account in the past. If this is your first time downloading the app, it'll ask you a few questions about like your age, weight, height, give you recommendations, and if you're trying to lose fat, gain muscle, all these kinds of things. It doesn't matter for now because we're going to go in there manually and change the numbers anyway. To do this, we're going to go to more, we're going to click on the goals tab, and then we're going to see all these digits here that we can change or edit. Make sure obviously they're accurate, and then we're going to come down to where it says nutrition goals and click on calorie, carbs, protein, and fat goals. This is for the free version. You can get MyFitnessPal Premium, but like you don't need to get it. I definitely don't recommend getting it, but if you want it to be easier to edit a few things and a little bit cleaner to look at without all the ads, then of course you can go and pay for Premium, but there's just no need for it. So we're into this tab here. Now we can change our calories, carbs, protein, and fats manually. So let's say initially I set you the goal of hitting 2,500 calories, then obviously you type that in and then your numbers will change a bit. But what I'm going to do is go for the 3,000 because those are my current nutrition goals. Obviously once you click on this tab here, you're going to see the different percentages. The goal is to make sure that these all add up to 100%. Obviously if you go into here and you want to make your carbs goal a little bit less, but then you see it's only 90% of the goal, it's not going to let you click through and change it, so you're going to need to change something to bring it back to 100%. From here, we're going to come back into our More tab. From your More tab, you're going to go into Settings, and then you're going to click on Diary Settings. This is where you're going to be able to customize your meal names. So I think initially it's got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then maybe a snack option. But I've just gone and changed mine from meal 1 to meal 6. I recommend just doing something like that, or if you regularly only eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then like a workout snack, then you can just change 4 of those meals names to that and just keep it obviously accurate to whatever you're using. But I'm going to stick with meal 1 to meal 6. And now the app is pretty much all set up, ready to use. Let's go into your diary and have a little bit of a look around here. As you can see, when we're in this diary page, we've got meal 1 to meal 6. There's also the opportunity to add exercise and add water. You don't really need to do this unless you're really bad with your water. Then you can add in your water, but there's just no need to add in your exercise because we'll be doing that through the other app. If it's your first time using the app, then I recommend coming into here and then we're just going to add as many foods as we would normally eat, so that way when we go in on further days, so let's say we come in tomorrow, there should be all these other foods already in our history that we can quickly tap on and then just change the total volume. So example, we're going to click on meal 2. Let's say regularly I eat oats. We're going to go on here, we're just going to hit click, and then we're going to find something similar to what we would normally have. If you know the brand of oats that you normally have, then obviously you can add in your brand, Uncle Toby's or something like that. And as you see, there's a few options there, and then we just add and continue. Let's say we have chicken breast fairly often, we want to do chicken breast. With things like your meats, your whole foods, your veggies, I recommend using Nut tab. Nut tab is just one of the most accurate options and they're fairly consistent. So I would stick with any whole foods, type Nut tab at the end and you're gonna get the best number there. So we've got chicken breast, Nut tab, let's add that one in there. And then you get the picture, you just go add all these different foods that you normally eat. If you add steak, broccoli, if you're having cereals, spreads, peanut butters, all these different things, just pop all of them in there, and that way they're at least in your history so that you can come in the next day and see, like, I've got some things in here. It's a lot easier to find the ones that you've already eaten, click on it, add it, and then change the volume from there. All right, we've come into a fresh day. I'm going to show you the easiest way to fill this in. So let's say our goal is that 3,000 calories. What we're going to do initially, the first thing we're gonna do is add all the proteins that we want to eat on that day. So let's say meal one, I want to have some sort of eggs. Those are my protein options. So we're going to add egg, we're going to add egg whites. Then we're going to go into our morning tea meal. Let's say for morning tea, I probably want to have like a YoPro or something like that. I can type in YoPro and I would have this in there. Meal three, so maybe like a lunchtime, afternoon tea time. I know I'm probably gonna eat like a chicken wrap or chicken and rice or something like that. So we're gonna type in chicken breast, nut tab, put that in there. And then for dinner, I'm gonna make let's say a salmon. So you're gonna put a salmon into your meal 5 or meal 6, whatever your last meal is. Find something accurate there. Grilled salmon, we're gonna go with the grilled salmon with skin. Now we've got all our protein options in that we think we're gonna have for the day. What we're gonna do to see if it's enough is we're gonna click on this tab up here. It says 2,265 remaining. It's gonna bring you into these tabs here, and we've got nutrients, calories, and macro tabs. Obviously, we're looking at the macros tab for now. As we can see, our protein number is only at 94 grams for the day. My goal, if we go into the nutrients tab, as you can see, is 188 is the goal for the day. So I've got quite a bit to catch up on. That's only half the amount. So I want to get that as close as possible first. So we go back to our meal plan. I want to check the volume of those foods that I put in now. So 120 grams of eggs. That's about 2 whole eggs there. Egg whites is obviously 100 grams of egg whites. That's fine there. If I need to, I can put that up. YoPro, 160 grams is a standard serving, so I'm probably going to keep that there. And then we've got chicken breast, so I can definitely add this up. So that's only at 100 grams, so I'm going to double this. I'm going to have 200 grams for lunch. Then we're going to go down to our salmon, and we've got 150 grams. So that's about a standard piece of the salmon that I would have. So I'm just going to keep that there. Now we go back into that same tab, look at our protein number, and now we're only at 117 out of 188. So we've still got quite a bit to go in. What I can do now is start thinking about, all right, what are some other high protein options that I can do? Just like I said before, we can increase our egg whites, add in a little bit more egg whites. So let's say we go for 125 grams of egg whites. That'll increase a little bit, but I probably want to get a whole another serving of protein in, so I might add in like a protein shake to my afternoon tea or into my supper or something like that. And now we look back at our number and it's a lot closer. So now we're at 154. That's much closer to the goal. Remember, it doesn't need to be exactly the goal yet because I'm going to go and add in all my other things now as well. But that's good enough. So now that we've done our protein, we can go add in all our veggies. After we add in our veggies and fruit, we can go and add in our carb options. After we've done our carb options, we want to go add in the fats or sauces or those kinds of things. And then we just want to go over it all and make sure it's all within reason of the goal. So now we do our veggies. So if we're going to have our wrap, let's have some spinach, let's have some tomato, let's have some cucumber, and that'll do for our wrap. Then we go to dinner, add in a bunch of dinner veggies. So we're gonna go broccoli, go capsicum, probably have some onion in there as well. And those are the veggies that I'm gonna have there. I might have a piece of fruit with breakfast, or maybe with my yogurt, I might add in some berries of some sort, or maybe a banana. So we add in the banana there. And that's pretty accurate to what my fruit and veg wants to be that day. Now, looking at our numbers, we can see that my protein is now to 160, my carbs are only at 40, and my fats are at 35. So fats are halfway, still got heaps of carbs to go. That's gonna be the next thing we add in now. So carb options. With our egg, we add in some bread. Wholemeal bread or something. Yep, 2 slices of bread with our eggs. Then we're gonna go to our YoPro, so I can add in like oats, or I can add in muesli or something like that, but we'll just go with oats. Onto lunch, with our chicken, we wanna have a wrap or 2 wraps, depending on how many carbs we have available. So add in a wrap, so that's 1 wrap, and then we're gonna go to our dinner with our salmon. We're gonna have it with rice, and we'll have it with brown rice, that'll do. So now that I've added in my carbs, we're gonna go back and have a little look at our numbers. Same thing here, we're only at 178 out of 400, so let's fast track. I'm gonna play around with the volume and add in a few other options. All right, so I've added in quite a few more carb options in there. My carbs are now up to 345, which is a lot closer. I'm happy with that. My fats are already where I want them to be, so they're at 64 out of 67, so I'm not gonna add any more fats. Now we're just trying to get our calories up there a little bit more. Obviously, protein's over, carbs under. Let's look at the total calories for the day. So my total food is at 2,784. My goal is 3,000, so I've got a couple hundred to spare. What I can do now is add all these little things to make it even closer. So I can add some sauces, I can add some spreads if I'm having anything there, or I can just save it for tomorrow when I go in, and depending on how I feel, I can obviously be a bit more flexible and add things in. So that is obviously the easiest way to add it in. As you can see, it's pretty fast to fill in a day's food if you follow that sequence of going protein, veggies, fruit, and then carbs, fats, sauces. Go through that. That's honestly the easiest way to do it. And then the more you plan in advance, the easier it is to come in, follow your plan, and then you have the option to be a little more flexible to add in a couple hundred calories extra here and there where you can do it. Hopefully that made a lot of sense. If you have any questions, then please feel free to email me and I'll get back to you ASAP. See you in the next video.